So the new season is starting. The riding feel a little bit off and comfortable. The board's not gripping as well. We haven't snowboarding for several months. In this video, we're going to look at how I analyze my riding early season in the transition between two turns. It's very important. If I set my turn properly and correctly, I'll be able to have a nice strong turn when I ride. If I do wrong movement, if I catch some bad habits early in the season, then the riding is gonna feel off all the time. We're gonna look at one of my first run of the season and how do I actually analyze this? How do I find what can be improved and what exercise, what drill I do and I would do with my students in order to actually improve that. So this is one of my first few runs of the early season. One of my terrible transitions is show how much of a terrible bad habit I'm catching this early season if I don't try to stop it and fix it right away. And that will affect a lot what's happening in my turn and how unstable and how off it feels to snowboard, because my board is not doing much of the turn for me, it's being forced into a turn. We're gonna check first the skeleton. Okay, this is the center of my stance. I have on a -12, +12. And if we check out my skeleton, we can see that I am definitely not in the center of my stance. I am very, very heavy on the front foot. On this one, my center of mass is probably somewhere here. The shoulder are kind of leaning back a little bit. But also I do that because I initiate the turn with this. So both flat mean that my weight should realistically be somewhere around here. A little bit more at the front of the center of my stance, but literally at the center of the width of my board. So then I can activate the hedge and then get this one going. The reason it's like this, if we look at the video, it's easier to see on the video. Look at what's happening in that front shoulder. You can see, boom, I'm sending, the hand is really giving it away, that front hand. I'm sending that shoulder in order to initiate my turn, which means I'm initiating my turn with this part of my body instead of initiating my turn with this part of my body. So as a result, what's happening is once I've started my rotation and then I get on my hedge, what's happening is my board continues the rotation. You can see I've barely just gone on the edge and the board is already sliding this way instead of going this way. Have a look, here we go. So then my toe edge is not grippy, it's not solid, I'm not stable on that toe edge, and so I feel less confidence on my riding. Same thing here, easy to check, shoulder and the hand, and you will see this is what's initiating my turns and not my ankles. Boom, the front hand is opening, the board is not even on the heel edge, and I'm already opening myself. So once I get to my heel edge, what's happening is there's enough rotation on my body, enough twist on my body that the board starts sliding and then I lose control of my grip and I'm unstable on my board. Same problem toe side and heel side. The way I would fix that, I really need to try to close my turn a little bit more, keep a little bit more grip and take the time to have the board flat, move my hips over to my toes. So I want to move my hips in the center of my stance. I want to move my hips somewhere around there to like activate this edge and let the board continue a little bit more so I can get my full edge on the snow, my full edge gripping the snow before I actually start pivoting with my lower body to continue turning and to make the turn a little bit more round. In terms of exercise that I would do with my students in order to kind of force this happening, I'll be looking at maybe going a little bit uphill, and here I really want the board to go flat for a few seconds. As the board is flat, then I initiate my new hedge and I go for my next turn. Same thing, finish going a little bit on the uphill side, board flat, counting 1, 2 as the board is flat, and then go for my next turn. What I will do is this section will allow me to slow down and not go too fast, so increase the confidence early season, especially the section where my board is flat. I get to reset my whole body, make sure I am in a good position, completely neutral on the board, and then once I set my hedge, I have the grip, I have the stability, and I can actually go for the turn and the rotation. So after a few rides focusing on it, okay, this is bit more of the results, focusing on the exercise. Much less of the upper body initiating the turn, much more of like gripping the board and actually run the turn, more stability, more control in the actual turn itself. And same thing from the toes to the heels, a lot less of the upper body is moving. The whole body, the center of mass is going from one edge to the other and going for the rest of the turn. So we're gonna go right here. We want to look at the shoulders and the track. Okay, I finished my turn. That track is fairly thin. Okay, nice and grippy. My board is really not side slipping. My board is really moving towards the direction of its length, which is actually exactly what I look for stability and control. Now that I have my board flat, same thing, I have started to open a little bit more my shoulder. Does not affect too much the rest of my lower body, but it means I still have to think about this, okay? My hips and my shoulder are a little bit open, while my board is flat. I could wait a little bit more. We can really see the track here, nice and thin. I had a really nice grip. Board is flat, and we'll see when I move forward the video a little bit more, I will see a nice flat area before it gets nice and thin again. So I finished my turn with a nice grip. Okay, a big flat area. We can look right here. I wait nicely for my flat area. Okay, and this is getting thinner and thinner because I'm catching my heel edge, and it's getting back to a very thin track and not like a very thick track. I really just want my board to be moving this way and let my edge actually do the turn. After focusing on it, that's how it looked like. Much better turn, much better riding. You'll see less movement, more calm, more gentle upper body. Don't need to like move it like crazy. It was actually much better groomed terrain and less icy terrain. I'm moving slower, I'm more stable on my board, I have more control about what I'm doing. My line is thinner, a rounder turn, and I can actually enjoy snowboarding again, getting strong foundation. So when the snow is actually there, I can really push really hard on my snowboarding. The transition between your turn and how you initiate, how you start your turn is just one part on what I analyze in my riding in order to improve, and what I analyze in the riding of my students. How you are in the apex of the turn, so when the board is really pointing straight down right at the middle of the turn, is also extremely important and can tell a lot. So the video that is on screen, probably over my face, is actually the one where I analyze the same riding, the same day, the same bad riding. I analyze my position, especially at the apex of my turns.